Hello, everyone, and oh shit, I just so it's the 31st episode of the SWW Show. It's me, AJ. I got Mike on the line with me. I have a handbrake that I installed onto my
Not this
desk,
again. God damn.
and as I went to move my mic, I hit it, not knowing immediately what it was because it's still fairly new, and I thought it was a water bottle that I was about to tip over.
What the fuck are you?
And there was definitely a little bit of a quick, oh shit, okay, we're good.
We good? You didn't die? You didn't take the desk with you? Is the
No,
house on fire?
didn't take the desk. My CPU's still holding in there.
Okay.
I think so. For those that watch our streams, our last stream, well, one of our recent streams. I don't know exactly the time frame of when this is going out, but
next Friday.
so one of our streams, my computer blue screened during the stream. It happened to me again the day that we're recording this.
Is you sleeping on the computer?
Or no, it was last night. And it's one of those like unrecoverable errors.
Okay.
And so I looked up what it means, and it's like, oh, it could be a hardware issue. And I'm like, shit, okay, well, my 970, I think, is dead, because that was like, my computer wouldn't run for 5 hours, and then it would blue screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I unplugged that, and the computer was fine. And now these are kind of starting back up again. And at first, it was Hitman 2 without fail would cause my computer to blue screen.
And now Hitman 3 is causing your computer to blue screen.
No, I don't. I had played multiple sessions of Hitman 3. And I didn't even have Hitman 3 the first time that during our stream. So I'm like, well, the 1070 should be fine. The memory's fine because when I upgraded it, I, made sure everything was seated properly. The only thing I can think is that my CPU is starting to die.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, shit, if that dies, then
That's a lot of money.
Well, at that point, it's like, okay, well, I guess we're just, we're really upgrading at that point.
That's a stimmy or two.
It would be a full stimmy, probably. Because I would need a new processor, a new motherboard, new RAM, a new cooler.
That's a lot of work.
So, I mean, those 4 things alone, are not cheap.
Nope.
And I mean, I've kind of gotten by with not necessarily cheaping out on my PC, but like I've had multiple generation old chips because Intel doesn't really change that much.
That's fair. I was gonna say, here's what you do though to really save costs. You could do like the real getaway. You don't need a cooler on the computer. You just have a fan behind it with like ice, and it just kind of sprays it.
No, I definitely need a cooler.
You're saying I shouldn't do that?
No. So, like, okay, well, shit. Let me start looking into. Well, and at least at that point, like, it really opens up my options if my CPU's dying.
That's fair.
Because now I can look at AMD. I can be like, okay, what do they have to offer?
And you start bidding them against each other. I get it. You're gonna both like get them both on the phone. Here's what you do, okay? You get 2 cell phones, right? You call one. No, fuck this. Fuck it. No. You want to call them both at the same time. You keep jumping between between the 2 of them, and you're doing it with a phone operator. But they have to know you're on the phone with the other company. That's where they're nervous.
Oh, I figured you were gonna tell me to recreate that 20-year-old pizza prank where
they talk to each other.
A guy calls 2 different pizza places and has the phones talking to each other. No, but I mean, because my first PC was an Intel, so I bought an Intel board. And then when I built my second one, I just stuck with Intel because I'm like, I'll probably use the processor.
Mm-hmm.
But let me get a board that I can overclock because I'll eventually do that. So I did that. Went from an i3 to a 5 to a 7. Like, I've got an i7 4790K, which when it came out was one of the top of the line Intel chips for consumers. But now it's like 6 generations old or something like that. So I'm really starting to look into, okay, especially for, performance-wise, I can get into a newer chip, same performance for a lot less money.
I know that's fair.
So it's like, okay, maybe
Even if up it, you could just kind of go a similar route, and then it's not,
Yeah, because basically, if I just do a lateral, it's because my CPU has
jump.
Yeah, my CPU has never been the problem.
Mm-hmm.
For things, so it's always come down to either storage, memory, or graphics cards. Because I've always had a fairly decent CPU because I video edit on this machine as well, so I needed it. So yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like once you build your first PC, you're always looking. Right, you're never content with what you have. It's always like, if I do this AMD board with this processor, this much RAM, okay, like how much of an upgrade is that? Like you're always thinking about the next upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, that's anything, right? Like if you're into cars, it's always okay, What's the next car? Can I go faster? Can I do this? Can I do that? So it's and it's the one thing really that consoles have that PCs don't is you're just stuck with whatever. So there's no comparison. It's like it's just between Microsoft and Sony that you're doing the comparison. You're not looking at
what's the Switch doing these days? Oh no. What is the Nvidia
Switch?
thing? What's the Nvidia
Shield?
thingy? Yeah, what's that doing these days?
I think they got rid of the Shield.
That's the new one they still had around, but with like rebranding or some shit.
Well, they have like the Shield TV box, which is basically like an Apple TV. Which they've had that forever. Like that came out with the Shield handheld. It was just never talked about because it was just like a Fire Stick. It was just an HDMI plug, and then it had a little processor on it that could stream stuff. But yeah, I mean they've turned that TV thing into a pretty serious platform, which is actually pretty impressive because if you think about it, right, like the idea behind the GeForce Now stuff is to move everything to the cloud so that it's solely dependent on your internet at that point. But the box seems to have some power behind it so that they could in theory offload some of that stuff to the box itself to therefore reduce kind of the network strain.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the Switch apparently has a new model coming out this year.
Yeah, which I don't think I keep put in the notes because we just don't know enough. So,
which
yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it because the talks
That's
about the Switch Pro has been.
That's also why I didn't put it in the notes. It's actually one of the things more reliable because like Bloomberg's reporting and shit, and that tends to be a little more reliable. But
which the funny thing is, right? They have the Switch Lite. Nobody was talking about a Switch Lite. The rumors were always oh,
The
Nintendo's
other one.
got this Switch Pro. That's going to be the new Nvidia chip and a bigger and better screen and all this stuff. And then it's like, oh, Nintendo's announcing a new console, and it's the Switch Lite, and you're like, did Nintendo just fleece the entire video game industry?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Yay for competition, right?
Yay. Yay.
That's what this whole thing about my computer boils down to. Yay for competition.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, so after computer troubles, so obviously I'm slowly getting closer and closer to the old house state. I started doing a new thing, AJ, where each day I'm packing one box a day.
It's going to take forever.
Well, it's because I'm gone for a bunch of random days too, so it's kind of like it's one a day, but it's kind of like, oh, I have random books or whatever, like that kind of nonsense. I forgot I had a backpack in my closet just full of old electrical cords.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, like, why do I have 5 HDMI cords in there, 20 USB-Cs, stuff like that? So the question is, do I go one or two routes? Do I go do the responsible thing of, like, recycling these things? Or do I do the crazy thing of buying a shelf that I then label each of them in, then put them in a nice shelf unit in the basement and never touch them ever, but at least they look nice?
Well, I mean, you hold off until you get to your place, and it was like, okay, this is how we're going to have to do things in terms of cabling.
And from there, I'll figure out what it looks
Yeah.
like. Because it's one of those things, and this is the yield problem with everyone is, you're like, I don't need this many, but like I might one day, so do I want to get rid of it?
Well, and excuse me. In theory, you can save a lot of money. Like if, for instance, you need a 30-foot HDMI cable,
Mm-hmm.
and you have 3 10-foot cables.
But at that point, though, how much quality am I losing?
Not a lot, especially if you're doing 1080 and just doing female to female adapters.
That's fair. It also depends, like, what it's being used for, too. Like, I think I'm gonna told you I might mount the one TV on my office wall as the monitor. That one I'm willing to lose quality on more than, like, my TV in the basement of my entertainment center.
Porn TV.
What'd you say?
Your porn TV. Anytime you put it, anytime you put a TV downstairs as your entertainment center, that's your porn TV.
No, that's only if the couch is also has a massage feature.
No.
I'm just saying.
The days of happy endings are long gone.
we could work on that. So, yeah.
No, I definitely don't want
You can help me install something like that.
to. No.
No? Why not?
No, because look at look at the way the world's going, right? Like, if you're into some weird sex shit, all of a sudden you're being canceled, and it's like, if dude, which I'm personally thinking about the Thomas Middleditch situation.
Okay.
Because I was reading something about that recently. Like, dude forced his wife into having an open relationship. Like, okay, couple problems there. One, if you wanted an open relationship, why did you get married?
Okay.
And two, like, obviously I can't think like a woman.
Really?
But who in the Sam hell would want Thomas Middleditch? You know what I mean? Like, and now the dude's getting called out and canceled and all this, and I'm like, what happened to the days of, he was doing it properly. He went to the weird sex cult dungeon place. And suddenly, people are like, oh my god, there's weird sex stuff going on in the weird sex dungeon place.
Wait, the sex dungeon was named Cloak and Dagger?
I think so. His name's something weird, too.
The
But,
fuck?
it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we're going backwards.
Wait, stop. I did not realize Thomas Middleditch was the voice of Captain Underpants.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done a bunch of that stuff.
Like, obviously, I know him from Silicon Valley. That's the obvious answer where you know him from.
But, like, I want to say this in the nicest way possible. Right? Like,
make your creepy sex acts private.
No, that whatever you do. Like my personal belief, right, is you do you. If it makes you happy, whatever. As long as it doesn't negatively affect me, I'm fine.
AJ, I have some bad news for you about what we're gonna have to do.
But so it's like so I'm personally like I have no opinion on I have no negative opinion on like gay marriage because I'm like you do you, like if that's what you like then whatever. Transgender, like if you truly feel that way then whatever, I don't care, like it doesn't bother me.
But the moment it bothers an AJ,
well, yeah, so there's situations where like that belief kind of falls apart with like, okay, like what about you're really into kids?
it doesn't affect you though.
It doesn't affect me, but I do have lines, right? Like,
and that line is about 4'2".
No, that line is at the point of like, there's some weird shit going on the internet right now of like,
oh my god, if the pedo, can we discuss the movement to try to normalize stuff for a minute?
Yeah, so this is, I didn't want to get into this conversation, but yeah,
like
I was trying to avoid it, but yeah, like it's just weird. Like,
what are you implying? That I'm just saying. Here's what we should do. Okay, we should create websites for these people, right? And then we have the FBI secretly tracking the IP addresses of people on those websites.
I mean, that happens already.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's a line. I have a hunch that that might be the line. And I'm not one for government overreach and just breaking into people's homes. But there's a line. I'm just saying. Would anyone notice?
I mean, like, it's funny that you say that, especially coming off of the fact that it'll kind of tie into what we've played. Playing Hitman, all I can think of is that Wilton Creek level. Of like, would anybody really notice? Like a small town like that. Like if they have a sex creep that likes to diddle kids.
Okay.
It's one of those situations, I'm pretty sure, where it's like that. It happened in Europe, I think. No, in Spain. The town bully got beat to death, and there were supposedly no witnesses, even though there are photos of people seeing it. I wonder if it'd be one of those things where if they found out that your local pedophile was murked in the middle of the night, they probably wouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
they'd go on with their day.
Yeah, good point.
They'd feel safer. I think in a situation like that, there would be the initial shock, right? Of like, oh my god, somebody killed this guy. Like, are we really safe here? That would last for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that week, the thoughts would become much more of, this is a safe place to raise a family. Because we don't have that creep anymore. Like, it was always accepted, right? Like, I guess accepted isn't the right word, but, you knew, like, when you went to family gatherings, like, you had that weird uncle, or that weird aunt, or that weird grandparent. Right? That it was very much like your parents tried to keep you away from it as best they could. Because you as a kid didn't necessarily know what was going on. But the family knew, but because the guy was family, they had to, guy being, not just a male in that situation, but, they had to accept him because he was family. Like, he was the family fuck up, and you had to deal with it. I very much have a feeling that there would be a lot of neighborhoods that would be like, I didn't see anything. It would be interesting to see how far you could push it, right? Like,
on that note, let's just jump right into it.
What do you want to jump into?
I was gonna say jump into Hitman. It made the most sense. So you got a hold of the Hitman, is it 3? It's the Hitman 10, I believe?
I don't know, apparently I have 10 add-ons through the Epic Games Store.
Yeah, so you're playing Hitman 3. So you cracked, and you went on the Epic Games Store and bought this thing. I want to point out, Trader.
The only reason
lecturing about
I finally did it because I am an asshole. I bought on the gray market. It was half off. The site that I use is fairly reputable, though. They're not like a G2A that uses stolen credit cards. They do the thing of, we're based in Bulgaria. I don't know where they're based, right? But
and they buy non-region locked keys.
Yeah.
Or you hope they're not region locked.
Well, they have okay, this is a European key, this is a worldwide key, this is a US key. So
and it worked, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, because the Epic Store doesn't appear to have a region lock on it.
Which it might not. I think that was one of the things.
Like
no DIM, no this.
Which that's hilarious because anytime that Epic Game Store launcher is running, there's a logger.
100%.
Like the Chinese government knows what you're doing when that program is running.
Yeah. So let's jump into Hitman 3.
Mm-hmm.
How many levels have you played, all that fun stuff?
I've gone through the entire game.
Whoa, okay. You think you bought it 2 days ago? I did not expect that.
Well, I straight lined it, right? So I did one run through.
Okay. How is it?
I mean, it's more Hitman.
People, I'm trying to think of what I heard about it. I think the general consensus I was hearing was it was better than 1 but worse than 2.
I mean, 2's kind of hard to I
think we've discussed that 2 is the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Yeah, 2 is very difficult to kind of comprehend because it was more of, it's obviously the sequel to 2016's Hitman, but it was also introducing the sniper assassin multiplayer stuff,
which is not good.
And then the ghost, the other multiplayer stuff that was
and they had the dumb single player sniper missions, which were bad.
Those are the same as the multiplayer ones. It was just
okay. They're just single player.
Yeah. Well, they had that I think it was just a time limited mode where it was you and one other person. It was like a 1v1 in the levels, and you had rotating targets or whatever. So I mean that a lot of Hitman 2 gets a lot of praise. It's kind of going back to the conversation we were just having, right? Like, oh, it's a great family. You just don't talk about, a couple people. Hitman 2 is a great game. You just don't talk about the multiplayer. Like, leave that out. Which, I mean, they were smart about how they did the multiplayer in 2, and then those sniper assassin missions. It was all separate. It didn't tie back to your main game, so you weren't missing out on anything. Which is nice, because that's always kind of my biggest pet peeve of games like this that are mainly single player, but then like they have certain rewards tied to their multiplayer that kind of force you into the multiplayer. And at least with Hitman, it was kept separate. It was whatever. Hitman 3 seems to, well, first off, they got some bullshit going on with that game.
Oh no.
In that they have what are called like deluxe escalations or something like that.
Okay.
And those are locked behind the a higher level of the higher version of the game. Or a transaction. So it's like, okay, this is stupid. Like, I get that you're trying to monetize what is effectively a single player game with this stuff, but then it's like it's promoted on the on the main screen. You always have the like campaign, and then you have the rotating tiles that are like if there's a elusive target, like the elusive target, and then there's the rotating tiles that are like the different escalations or different like featured missions and stuff like that. And because the game's so new, like one of the tiles has the escalation stuff, and it's like half of these deluxe escalations. And so like if you look at the screen when one of those is up, like a decent chunk of your screen is grayed out material that if you want to interact with it, you have to purchase the deluxe upgrade or whatever.
Okay.
And then they have like, which it would be cool to experience once or twice, but they have, it's like director's commentary for some of the levels. I don't know if it's everyone, but it seems like a lot of them. And those are locked behind that upgrade. Now, if they weren't like when you're planning your mission, it's one of the entrances. It's like director's commentary, whatever the location is. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but don't have it in the list of potential entrances. Like if I want this, like give me an option, in one of the other menus. Not, the entrance menu that in many ways has been kind of like when they redid all the menus for 2016's Hitman, it made it much more streamlined. Like, it was super easy to see what you were going into the mission with. And now, you go in to pick one of your things, and everything on that list, up until now, up until 3, has been achievable through play. Now, there's stuff that you will never unlock unless you purchase the deluxe upgrade. And that's the stuff that annoys me. Like, it's not gameplay.
Do you think it's because they're more independent than need revenue, or do you think it's... Correct me if I'm wrong, this is 100% still self-published.
Yeah, this is fully IOI.
I thought the last one said Warner Distribution tied to it, so...
Yeah, the physical was... They had a deal
Warner,
for the physical, but the digital was IOI.
Which basically just means Warner gets a cut of the sales for physical games, realistically. Yeah.
And
No, it's a very.
yeah, it just kind of
Would you be less annoyed than if they only showed that if you bought the stuff? Like it's not blacked out or anything, but I mean, it's like a new thing appeared if you had bought DLC or whatever. Would you be less annoyed by that?
I'm totally fine with that. If I had bought the deluxe version,
You just don't want it in your face.
yeah, like if I had bought the deluxe version and when I go into Whitmore Creek, I think is what it's called. I think it's literally like Whittleton Creek or Whitmore Manor. I think is what it's called. Knives Out one.
All I can think of is your governor, and that's not.
No, that's Whitmer. No, the Knives Out one.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one that I noticed it on, partially because it's the first level where you kind of get the ability to change some of that stuff when you're playing through it for the first time. And I was like, I don't like that it's there, that it's like, oh, director's commentary, but you have to buy it. If I had bought the deluxe version and it was there,
you mind a lot less.
I don't care. Like, oh, cool. Like, this is,
I get a bonus.
Yeah. Not because, and it's solely because they've conditioned us for 2 games. Everything on those menus is unlockable through play. Hitman 1 started that. Hitman 2 carried that on. Now Hitman 3 is like, nah, fuck it. It's locked behind a pay window. Granted, it's one thing, but still, it's like, you build up this expectation, right, of you see the menu, you know how to get to it because it tells you the mastery level that you need to be at to unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, I have a goal. My goal is to unlock this entrance or unlock this weapon or whatever. Costume, whatever. And now it's like, all right, I have my goal. Also, that square will never be filled in because I'm not going to buy the deluxe thing unless it comes out like, oh, the deluxe has the season pass. And it's going to have the 2 DLCs that they're going to release. And then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to buy the season pass because it's more Hitman content. But, it's just annoying. I gotta say, though, the final level is such a release. Because you've played through it, right?
Hitman 3 now.
But you have it, don't you?
Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to really poke at it.
Oh. So the last level of this game is such a release because it takes everything that you've learned about Hitman and playing it and flips it on its head.
Oh, that's...
And, well, I mean, if you've read anything about Hitman, you know that there's a level that's like an on-rails shooter.
Right.
Okay, so that's the last level. I won't spoil, because really up until the end, there's not a lot to spoil. But, in Hitman, you're conditioned that the only person that you should kill
is the target. Right.
In this, you get on that, everybody's fair game.
Oh.
It's like organization, I won't say the organization because it's kind of a spoiler. Organization members may be eliminated. And you're like, does that mean? And then you choke the guy out, snap his neck, and you're like, yes, it does. So you get to go through that game and they stock guns everywhere. and ammo and frag grenades, and it's such like because it gives you the ability to like kind of mess around with stuff that you've seen in the game before, like frag grenades, like shotguns, things like that. That you're like, man, if I want to be smart about this, I'm not going to take any of these because it will affect my score.
But I'm gonna take these.
But now you're like, all right, picking this up, chucking this grenade. Oh, this random office worker, blasting their face off.
That's beautiful.
And you feel like such a badass. And it's this great release from kind of the Hitman. Like it's great fan service for what is, the end of an era.
Yeah, it's gonna be so weird because the next game is Bond, which
Yeah,
that
their
better be
next
fine.
game is Bond.
Which I'm gonna say the obvious thing. IO Interactive is the studio made to make a Bond game in modern context. Because there are
Yes
times
and
Hitman
no.
wants to be a Bond, but it's
Because
like a different type.
they weren't the studio to make a Bond game until Hitman 2016 came out.
Yes, but now they are.
Pre that, if you would have said, "Oh, IOI is getting the Bond license," you'd have been, "Oh, great, here's another trash fire."
Okay, well now like because part of Bond, because not every Bond film, but Bond in some capacity feels like a Agent 47 who's more willing to cause explosions.
Well, and it depends on the Bond. Like Daniel Craig Bond is very much 47.
Yes, no, that's kind of what I'm thinking of. Is a
Like
Daniel Craig Bond is Agent 47.
Pierce Brosnan Bond is very much like the suave. He's gonna kill the guy and get the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Daniel Craig Bond is very much like whatever it takes, kill the target.
I don't care if I blow down the goddamn what is it in the middle? Was it Moshibishi or something in the beginning of the Spectre of Skyfall when he like blows up fucking Mexico City in Spectre or something where they just blows up half of Mexico City.
Oh well, and then you have Casino Royale where he blows up the police station or whatever in
And,
Somalia, I think it
and
is.
that's they cut with like the news feed being like he's like no.
Yeah. So I mean, the way IOI has reinvented 47 proves that they have the ability to make a good Craig
Yep.
Bond game. Whether or not they do
That's a different story.
is up in the air because, I mean, really, like, Hitman 2 just built on Hitman 1.
Mm-hmm.
There was almost nothing new that it implemented.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hitman 3's got a camera
Mm-hmm.
that you can use to hack stuff. And that's it.
But in the same way, the reason I don't think they have to add more. I thought the briefcase was new in 2.
It is, but I mean, also a lot of the stuff that I guess the briefcase was new because it allowed you to carry like,
It broke a lot of the maps from the first game. 'Cause that's cool
yeah,
what Hitman have. Like that. I mean, you walk in the first game map, you're like, okay, I have gun now.
yeah. I mean, it allowed you to get past like frisk stations and things of that nature because you could hide stuff in the briefcase. But I mean, it really didn't necessarily affect the way that the game was played.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
like I rarely use a briefcase because I just have no need for one. I just
Mhm.
I kind of know what I need a lockpick, I need coin, I need the silver baller, and then whatever outfit. I don't care what the outfit is, and I can go into any Hitman level and be perfectly fine. I don't need a briefcase with a sniper rifle or a shotgun or something like that in it. Because I don't play that way. I don't play aloud.
Mm-hmm.
I try to very much play Hitman as 47 is taught. So, yeah, I mean, like, I'm hopeful for the Bond game, but I fear that it's maybe rose tinted glasses. Because, as I say, they haven't, like, IOI hasn't changed the game since 2015, so that's 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, you added a briefcase that allows you to carry long guns in it without being detected. Okay, I guess that kind of breaks some of the stuff, but, nothing major. And then in 3, it's like, you only can use this in 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hitman 3, no, not specific levels. So, they went from a game-breaking edition, in kind of a good way, to, okay, we got the response from the fans, they love the briefcase, but it breaks the old stuff. So let's introduce something that doesn't break anything. It's just adding on to what we've got. And you've always got the camera. Like, that's the nice part about it. It's not something you have to equip. It's not something you have to go pick up. It's 47's got a camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, whatever. So, yeah.
So I'm assuming, correct me wrong after all this, you'd still recommend 3, it's just more of the same.
Yeah. It's more of Hitman.
Okay.
If you liked Hitman 2, you'll like Hitman 3.
Like Hitman 3?
If...
That seems...
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I have been playing, so remember Outer Worlds, which is the Obsidian...
before we move on.
Yeah.
I just want to say this. The process for carrying over progress and locations
How bad?
was a clusterfuck.
Oh, fuck, you went from Steam to Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking...
Well,
yeah,
so it was like, okay, you have to you had to start the game. You couldn't do this without starting the game.
Because I had to make a location, probably. From back-end nonsense.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is, right, you have an IOI account.
Mm-hmm.
So...
What fucking hell, yeah, they should just use that.
So it's like, okay. And then you had to go to an entire website to do this. You couldn't do this in-game. You had to go into the game, put the email address for your IOI account into the game, so that it linked Hitman 3 to your account through the Epic Store as it's whatever. And then you had to go back to the website, export your Hitman 2 data, import it into 3, so that's just your unlocks. That's like your unlocks and your mastery, and that's it. To get your locations from Hitman 2, so like if you were like me and had the Hitman 2 with the DLC and obviously Hitman 1 and all its locations, you had to go to a different website. Or no, it was the same website as your account data, as like your account profile, but not the same website as the carryover for your data. There's 2 different websites. But once you linked Hitman 3 to your IOI account, all of a sudden a little thing popped up of like, hey, location transfer or something like that. Like, okay, so you click on that, and it's like, here's what you own, here's what can be transferred, here's what you've already transferred. Cool. You have to transfer everything one at a time. It's like, okay, Hitman 1, transfer.
Hitman 1 Game
Hitman
Edition
2,
transfer.
transfer. Hitman 2 DLC transfer. It was like 3 or 4
Oh
different
fuck.
things.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was all on one page, but you had to go back and individually transfer them to your account. It's like, this is a
It
shit
actually
show.
sounds like the worst.
But how else would you do it? Like, until the Steam version comes out,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, it's Steam, so it pulls all that data. You know, the fact that the part that pisses me off is I am going to have to do the transfer back potentially if I want to play it on Steam. Once Hitman 3 comes out on Steam. So it's like, oh shit. But they say in the carryover thing, like, you can only do this once.
What?
Okay. So, I'm like, I really hope they put a kind of grace period in for, like the first month that it's available on Steam for people to bring their data back. Because I imagine there's a lot of people kind of reluctant, much like me, reluctantly playing this game through the Epic Store. Because it was like the PR for all of this was such a boondoggle. I remember that. Of like, from IOI, it was, oh yeah, your Hitman 2 stuff will transfer over. And then it became, okay, how? Because Epic doesn't have Hitman 2. They barely have Hitman 1. So I was like, okay, how are they going to transfer this stuff over? And then it was like, oh, if you owned Hitman 2 or 1, we're going to give you a discount on the games to buy them on the Epic Store.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you're fucking kidding me. You want me to do what now? And then finally they were like, okay, great news, fans, even though probably it was like, well, shit, I guess we have to do this. Because I can guarantee if they never did this, of the free transfer, they would be raked through the coals by the fans.
Oh, yeah.
That would be, it would be akin to the Skate 4 stuff on all of EA's posts. Remember that? Like, doesn't matter what the post was about. The comments were Skate 4, Skate 4, Skate 4, Skate 4.
Mm-hmm.
Anything IOI did, it would be free transfer locations. When's that going to come out? Or, they would kind of rightfully be seen by Hitman fans as just doing the cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
And I would fear for IOI if that was the case, right? Of the Hitman fans seeing what they do as, oh, it's just a cash grab, so who cares? Right? Like, I don't want to participate in that. They're clearly doing the Epic Store for the money, and they clearly want as much out of us as they can because they're not letting us do free transfers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you guys have to right the ship here. This is something that you can't just do this. And especially, this is all built on IOI being the company that they are, right? And the way that they've treated their fans in the past, the way that, the way that they were able to take, Hitman, and like, they could have easily sold that license when they were going under. Like, IOI was going under before Hitman 2 came out. It was very clear that if the publishing deal didn't go through, Hitman 2 wouldn't come out. Because they wouldn't be able to afford it.
Mm-hmm.
and they got the good graces of their fans because they bought the Hitman license, so they were free and clear. That was the whole point of that. You there was the whole thing about how IOI owns Hitman. It was a pretty big deal, and it was big for the fans, and so to see them kind of crumble to the pressure of keeping it a live game, which is always kind of been a live game.
It's here or there, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a live game in the sense that it has like the escalation contracts and the elusive targets and that stuff, but also it's a live game in the sense that you need to be connected.
Right. Fucking hell.
Which, when you think about it, it makes sense, right? Like, when you're getting scored, if
So
you
yes
could
and no
go,
then. You could just my issue with Hitman, if I remember right, was if I DQ, it won't save it at all. Where it should just be, it won't save my score. Like you should find some balance. It should be an asterisk
they
next to my
fixed that.
score.
They fixed that with
Okay.
two, so it just throws up like a pause menu.
Because
And
one, it would be like you could play, but this won't save.
well, no, at first one didn't even have offline. Like the game was fully online. If you weren't able to be online, you couldn't launch the game. Like so.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, okay, so we're almost an hour into this, and all we've talked about is pedophiles and
Hitman.
Hitman.
That's true. So what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, so the Outer Worlds DLC. So it's the last piece of content for the Outer Worlds. As everyone remembers, it's Obsidian, pre-Microsoft purchase, not Fallout in space. So it's Perils on Gorgon. Uh, it's so you're brought in as an investigator, to figure out an actress was murdered on corporate grounds, and they don't want that.
Pause.
And you,
Time out.
yeah,
Is this just the Valentine DLC from Fallout 4?
no, I was thinking, no, I'm trying to think what this would be comparative to.
Because wasn't
The
there a DLC for 4 where you like played as Valentine and was a murder mystery thing?
Well, Valentine was one of the what you had missions from, yeah.
I could have sworn there was like a DLC that kind of went
The first
further
DLC
off.
you did. You went on an island for him. That's the like one you had to be in the suit the entire time. Um, it was Valentine's detective or whatever the fuck it was called. Because that's Valentine's the detective agent in 4. This one, the hotel is very cool, and then you have access to it's on a planet where you have like a hotel, which is like a super fancy like think like Vegas resort hotel, and then you have grounds around it, and it very quickly turns into so I'm currently in this like garden area, right? Because I have to go figure out if she got killed around here, find clues, and every grounds worker I meet is super friendly and loves happy thoughts and working for the company. And every time they do think of bad thoughts, the giant bulging worm on their neck starts to glow and they start to get upset.
Sounds like some fucked up shit, man.
I really enjoy it right now. I haven't beat it yet. It's a fun little thing. It's you enjoy Outer Worlds. I think that it does really well. They've started adding more to the game kind of with each DLC that kind of shows that they get to make a sequel ever. I think they do some really cool things, and it shows what everyone always says is Obsidian is the best at making Fallout games. Even though this isn't a Fallout game, it's such a Fallout game. Yeah.
Take your word for it.
And it doesn't crash.
I'll take your word for
it. Otherwise, I've been playing Ruiner, which I think I'm done playing it now. It's a Devolver game that I apparently never saw when it came out. It was on sale on PSN a couple weeks ago.
I think I remember hearing like when this came out. And...
yeah, it's very cyber punky. It's a Devolver game you can picture in your head. It's top down, very arcadey in its thing. Like every time you have a combat encounter, it's usually like 40 seconds. It'll end with like a score, being like, "You got this." Like it's one of those type of games.
It's
it is very
top
cool.
down, tits in the breeze.
Yeah, it's cool in concept, like even like theme wise and stuff, because you're like a cyborg, you're reprogrammed
Yeah,
and shit. I think it doesn't play super well. I feel it's too complicated for its own good, and it doesn't because of its complication. It doesn't feel as smooth as it could. Because so I have a
that
dash, I have attack, I have a range and a melee because it's a gun. I have to switch out guns. I have to live switch out my ability half the time. Like I feel it's just too much unbalancing.
I feel like that's kind of the same complaint that you can have for the vast majority of Devolver stuff.
Yeah, like
Like they have one or two hits,
yeah,
and then you look at the rest of their library for
like
that stretch of time. It's like, man, you guys tried way too hard. Like that's
I don't feel like it's bad either. I just feel if I could. So right now, I think there is thinking about it. Besides moving, right? I think there are 6 controls in that game. Uh, and I think that's just too many. The way I would run it instead is skim that down. So one of the dash, keep the dash. Give me. I would switch it to an attack instead of these 2 attacks, and then give me like an ability. And the issue they have is, depending what happens. Oh, I also have a shield too. Like it just becomes this too much of having to balance everything. They should have skimmed this down, tighten those controls a bit, give me less controls to deal with, and I feel like it'd been a lot more fun. Could just become also like it does little. So if I'm picturing this kind of arcade game, right? I don't want to have to switch out my weapon every 20 seconds. Like it just feels like it's a combo of too much there. Again, it's not a bad game by any stretch. I only paid $5 because on sale for it, so I don't think I got ripped off by anything. But it's a lot. It's very disappointing, I think, from what I saw of the game.
it's funny that you mentioned getting ripped off because that's one of the news stories. Um,
And then on the list here it says you've played Squad.
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 Yeah, it's you probably won't know any of them, but like Day of Infamy, um, like it seems to be source based, just judging by the menus.
How old is Squad?
Squad,
Squad.
Squad. They just released 2.0 fairly recently, so
Squad video game 2015.
well, that one it was. This thing's been in early access forever.
Oh, it left early access in 2020.
Yeah.
September 23rd, 2020. Off-World Industries. UE4,
Huh,
by the way.
I mean, its menus just look so much like some of these other like source games. So, but yeah, it's one of those. It's kind of like Arma in the sense that, um, in the way that Arma is kind of the uber
Jesus Christ.
realistic.
It was an early access for so long, it was still called Greenlight.
Yeah. In the way that Arma is like uber realistic, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, Squad kind of dials that back a little bit. It's still very much the realistic shooter and realistic settings and all that of like Arma, but it's a little more user friendly. There's more menus, there's more UI. Um, it's a little more forgiving in that sense. It's still just as hard. But yeah, it's it's one of those fun. Fun is very much a uh, interpretation word here because I mean you could just be getting your ass handed to you. Like I was playing medic, and it was fun because I got to run around and revive people and heal them and stuff like that. I was dog shit at the combat, like I am in most of these games. But I could do my job well enough that I felt like I was making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Much in the exact opposite way that I feel like you're making a difference in our Minecraft world.
Listen, we're such in that issue of uh what we have to. Also, this week we're going into the Nether reset.
Well, I mean, we've already been to the Nether a couple times, but
Oh, we have to like actually do it. Also,
yeah,
it's
there's a
because
couple.
Minecraft we have the goal of beating to the end, which obviously we could have sped run it and just kind of blunt our way through it, but like it'd be less entertaining.
I mean, right
Oh,
now, all we have, like, we are bottlenecked. We are ready to go
yeah.
to the end. We just need Ender Eyes, and that's it. Like, we need the stuff that allows us to find the portal and then unlock the portal. I think once we get into the end, we're probably good.
Yeah, because we're going in the Nether when we record this tomorrow. So we could find that thing again, and we're gonna get a portal out of there, right? And at that point, then we're fine. Because at that point, just going on ender hunting. No, here's a
Yeah.
question though. I've had a problem in the past. I don't know if they fixed it, where before it used to once in a while, instead of making a new Nether portal back on the Earth side, it would put me back to the old one and then not let me go back to the new one.
I mean, they fixed that a while ago.
Okay. So we just better hope then we could find our way back, which we should be able to with maps now too.
Yeah.
Does that mean one of us should stay home for it? Or does it
No, I think
matter?
we should be fine. I guess as long as we don't get too far off the map,
We'll be fine.
we'll be fine. I mean, we can always use the maps to orient ourselves and then
That's
walk
fair.
back. But
We could also find a way to cheat it probably too. Because it's on your computer, you could find a position.
yeah, well, you
Yeah.
can do it too. It's like the F5 menu.
Yeah. Okay. Lastly on this list, you keep going back to Japan.
Yep. I'm
How
gonna
is?
finish Yakuza 7.
Oh, sure.
Well, I've basically made it as easy as possible. I may or may not have found a trainer for it and ranked everybody up to level 100. So now it's just going through story missions and mashing the A button and getting through dialogue.
Fair.
So,
I assume it's more Yakuza.
yeah. There's some weird shit in 7. There's a whole
I'm sorry,
side
there wasn't.
story where you fight a giant Roomba. Like,
You mean like?
giant.
Is it gonna be like when I'm gonna get from my house, giant?
Like, it's about as wide as a street. So scale that up. It's probably 5 or 6 foot tall. Wide as a street. It's hilarious. I mean, Yakuza does the blend right of like the ridiculousness in GTA is through kind of it's through what the player does, right? Like the GTA story, barring a few sections, especially GTA 5, is pretty down to earth. Like, I mean, short of the Michael side mission where he trips balls and falls from space. It's a pretty grounded story. Whereas the Yakuza games have always had like, oh, Kiryu helps this guy out and now he's coaching the baseball team,
Mm-hmm.
or you know, Kiryu is coming out of prison and instead of Pokemon they have women fighters and it cuts to a very simple fighter game and the women are in like bikinis.
The fuck?
It's TOA style stuff. It's just always had those ridiculous things. And I think it really helps. Like,
I forget. Did you buy them by the way? Are you playing this on Game Pass?
7?
Oh, 7. When is 7 going Game Pass? Next week? I thought it was going on Game Pass.
7's been on Game Pass. I bought 7 when it came out, and then I had bought the Zero, Kiwami 1 and 2 package, I think, around the same time. Because I don't think the 345 is out on
I thought
Steam
all of them
yet.
are now. Oh, on Steam. Okay, I thought you were saying Game Pass. Yeah, I don't know. That's fair. Okay. Yeah, that is
I
everything
will
we've played.
finish 7.
We will check in next month. Okay. Hopping to what we have seen. AJ, me and you saw a masterpiece this last weekend.
That we did.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. So everyone's aware. You can always go check out. We did a watch along for both. We did it in 2 parts because that movie is long enough that it deserves 2 parts. So top level though, now that you've had a couple days to really think about what we did on Saturday, what is your top level opinion on that one?
Well, I saw a thing that was like, when was it? 10% of Justice League is in slow motion or something like that.
I did see something like that.
And I'm like, it's fine, whatever. But then you start to think about like that the Flash scene, and it's like, well, that was what, like 10 minutes or something like that. All of the Flash stuff was in slow mo. It's like, who cares? Like, did it bother you?
Mm-hmm.
I guess people are complaining because it's 4 hours, so could it have been pared down if you cut slow mo out? But I feel like in much the same way that, well, I don't think a lot of people like to admit it, like Nolan movies, yes, they're long, but they kind of have to be.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
This was much the same way. Like, it was long, yes, but the details added made the movie make so much more sense.
I was gonna say, you'd seem to actually like this more than.
I mean, original Justice League is such a farce of superhero movies. It's ridiculous.
Original Justice League, I don't hate, and I think we talked about this. It's just, to me, it feels like a movie that if it came out in the early 2000s, we would have thought of a genius, but in the world that Marvel movies existed, it was not a good superhero movie.
I mean, it wasn't even that great of a movie to begin with. The pacing was so
Weird.
weird, but yeah.
Yeah, but this film, I think, again, it's 4 hours. I think if we sat down and re-edited it, you could have cut a half hour of this film without compromising a ton of the story. But I think there's also really cool things this does that fixes Justice League, and like what it does with Flash or Cyborg. It's, I think, the funniest. I thought it was funny because the funniest moment I saw went from online was we were making fun of we were watching was when the Icelandians decided to chant about Aquaman and sing to him.
Yeah.
What? That was also. I think I didn't think of when I was listening to a review of it was. How does Aquaman have so many shirts? Since every time he apparently has one, he just rips it off.
Well, that he's saving all these dudes off these boats, so he probably just has a stash of like, oh, the boat
White
went
shirt.
down, so here's their wardrobe.
But like
But
every time, he just ripped his shirt off. Why are you putting a new one on? You're not cold.
yeah, I don't know. I like though the quote that you pulled from the first part that you made as the tweet.
Fuck, what did you say? God, you called it too. It was a good. It was a good one.
Steppenwolf is like a Ken doll, I think is what you put.
That's what you said. I quoted you, to be fair.
Which, I mean, if you think about it, that was more of a discussion about why his outfit was so outlandish, less than necessary genitalia and reproductive situation. But
It is what it is. So I'm gonna ask here. It says you've watched Patriot.
Yep.
Like, is Patriot what I'm thinking it is?
I don't know. What are you thinking?
It's not a Mel Gibson movie, is it?
That's The Patriot.
Okay, then what's Patriot?
It's an Amazon show.
Okay, no, I'm just picturing The Patriot because I googled Patriot and that's what I was thinking.
So the only reason I knew this existed was I was bored one night scrolling through Amazon. And I was like, oh, let's see what Amazon originals they have that I haven't seen.
What is this cast?
Dude, it's an interesting cast. Like, oh, I know him, I don't know him.
It's the man from that. It's the dad from that seven.
Is it? Is Leslie that guy? I don't really care. But it would
Yeah,
be
he
funny
is.
if it is. Continue watching Patriot Season 1, which I've watched. So also I've got a bone to pick about the way the Amazon app works on Vizios.
Okay.
I can watch like 2, maybe 3 episodes, and then all of a sudden it just stops working. Like it'll continue to play the episode, but like my remote is like, nah. Try again later. So like there's 2 episodes on my list that say they're unwatched, even though I've watched them. Man, this is annoying. So yeah, I've watched the first season of it.
Would you recommend?
It is. It's interesting. I don't know if I can answer that question.
Hmm.
Like, would I recommend it to you? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Would I recommend it to somebody on the street? Probably not.
Probably not.
Because it's a little. I think it's a little too weird to like. Because this is definitely a show where like you need to know the person before you recommend it.
That's fair.
Because like the main character is depressed and well, he's not suicidal. There are characters that are suicidal, and so you know if the person that I see on the street is dealing with that stuff, I'm like, and I don't know, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, watch this show. The guy the guy's just like DoD fixer and writes folk songs about his misadventures.
That's a good time.
Yeah. So it's definitely one of those shows that I don't know, you can binge it.
But I
I
wouldn't.
didn't. I've watched like a couple episodes every day.
Hmm.
Because I feel like if you binged it, like it kind of gets a little down. Like you're like, oh, you're watching this dude and you're like, man, I feel bad for him. Like his life is fucked up. Then you're like, I really don't want to think about this. Let me go watch something else.
Okay. On that happy note, side thing that I know ages ago about, I watched first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I enjoy it. It feels like a Captain America movie kind of stuff. So if you like those of the Marvel movies, I think it's worth checking out. AJ, I'm curious, actually, you might like it because of the superhero movies, like Captain America's are obviously the more grounded of them.
My favorite Marvel movie is Winter Soldier.
So then yes, you actually might, considering it stars Winter Soldier.
Well, I don't care about the character.
But I think it's the grounded nature nature of it is like I'm curious. I think me and you probably like the Winter Soldier. 'Cause Winter Soldier is my favorite also.
Winter Soldier, like Captain America and Winter Soldier, is like these guys have guns. Like
Yeah, like
the
yes, we
Winter
have a super
Soldier, like
soldier and a robot, but that's it. Like everything else is grounded.
well,
Also, it's really
it's
weird
like
because
whatever about the
it came out right after we found out about PRISM existing in the U.S. government, so it felt too real.
well and like Captain America and the Winter Soldier is very much like they deal with the situations that like it's like Iron Man. Okay, in the second one, Mickey Rourke is, I guess, technically a terrorist,
Has a bird.
but it's very much like, oh, Tony Stark will definitely beat him. Like he knew from the start he was never going to be an issue. Winter Soldier is like, no, this dude's straight up a domestic terrorist, potentially international terrorist, and nobody knows if they can stop him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not necessarily saying I like movies that handle domestic terrorism, but I like, especially when it's a movie in a franchise that bucks the franchise trend.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons why I really like Ragnarok. Because it's so different from any other Marvel movie. Because it's a fun, like, it's a fun whatever movie, not, oh, we're trying to be serious, but only to a point. Whereas Winter Soldier's like, no, we are serious. Like, people gonna die, people gonna get shot. Like,
and it gets way too. What's the movie? What's the Tom Cruise movie? I'm thinking of
Mission
where
Impossible?
it's like no, where you would kill people for crimes you commit in the future.
Huh?
There's a movie.
Live,
It's
Die,
about if
Repeat?
no, it's about there's an agency in the government that knows if in the future you're going to commit a crime, so it's the job of the agency to capture you before you commit the crime.
Looper?
No, fuck. How do neither of us know this one? This is like a very famous movie.
Fuck if I know.
Something with like mind, something movie. Commit crime in the future. I promise you,
Let's look
this
up
is
Tom
going
Cruise's
to...
IMDb.
Minority Report. Minority Report.
Oh. That's not what that is.
100%. They're talking about how the government's going to shoot down potential terrorists because they're getting in the future. Is what literally happens in Winter Soldier.
No, I'm talking about Minority Report.
That is what happens.
No, he's like
He's a cop.
It focuses on murders.
Right, because he's going to commit the murder in the future.
It's the idea of Minority Report is it's just analytics, right? It's in a weird way, it's what modern reality is of using AI and analytics to decide, much like in Watch Dogs, where it was that crime probability thing. It's just one of those. But no, Winter Soldier takes Minority Report and kind of shifts it. It's not like Minority Report is Winter Soldier.
That's fair. But like I think there's a lot of parallels in the discussion there.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. Let's jump to some news. Now a lot of film TV news. First one is Avatar is officially the highest grossing film of all time again.
Nobody's surprised.
It's because they opened it in China for a bit, which Endgame should just start opening itself in China again just to fuck with them and just let this be the thing forever.
Well, Disney doesn't care. They own both of them.
This is true. It's just one of those things that, like, I saw the news story, I had to talk about it. Next one. Can we put this on the list of shit that no one wanted? We
Also, the three of these.
How do you feel about this live action Powerpuff Girls?
So, one of them I know.
Okay.
The other one I know the name of. The third one, though. Oh, okay. That would explain it. It says Dove Cameron from Descendants. She's the one who I know her name. I don't know what she's done. Chloe Bennett. Okay, yeah, I know
Chloe
who
Bennett,
she is.
yeah. Chloe Bennett.
And then Yana Perot is like, oh, she's from Broadway. Like, well, no shit. That's why I don't know her.
Also, it's gonna make an edgy adult. No. I agree with you on this one. But
Oh, it's a show. I thought it was a movie.
no, it's a show.
Oh, this is gonna be dog shit.
You want to see it now just see how bad it is.
No, because that means I'll have to tune into CW.
This girl became famous for being in the Broadway musical Jagged Little Pill.
Okay.
Also, she was in Hamilton.
Everybody, I feel like was in Hamilton at one point.
Also, I like what Gizmodo said, and this is a real line from it. No word on when the Powerpuff Girls show could actually air.
No, she was not part of the Hamilton cast.
Was she about to be?
She was going to join the cast before COVID shut down Broadway.
Oh, I'm vouch. Okay, but we have to get to this final line. But with this casting, Cody and the crew definitely have a promising start. This is a promising start to you?
I mean, you have one with major name recognition in Chloe Bennett.
I don't want major. I'll give you name recognition. For the CW, it's major name recognition.
Well, for, like, of the three, right? Like,
yes. Chloe Bennett.
Chloe Bennett's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, that is a major property.
That's an ABC top 5 show for a while. You know, it's
on Netflix now, but yeah.
But the point is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Dove Cameron, who has been pretty good in the roles that she's been given. She just hasn't been given big roles. And then you have, the... I can't think of the proper way to state this. I think you know what I want to say.
No, you had to say it, though.
The affirmative action hire.
I know what you wanted to say.
Like, I guess that's the nicest way I can say it. Like, diversity hire, I guess, is the better. Like, it feels like that's what they're going for, which is weird because Powerpuff Girls, like, they're like not white as in like you and I, but they're like white, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Well, I think they're yellow, to be fair.
They're a single shade of whatever color. Like, it's not skin tone.
Powerpuff Girls. I thought the one was dark. No, they're all white. They're all pretty white.
Okay.
The green one's a little darker, is why I was thinking that in my head. But it's like not. It's like putting an Irish next to a German difference. Like, that's what we're talking about.
That's not a great comparison. Because they're both pasty. That'd be like an Italian next to a German.
No, but like a Northern Italian bed during the winter. It's not that different.
But
there were 78 episodes of the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. 98 to 05, yeah.
There was an anime called Powerpuff Girls Z.
Of course there was. That was probably during the stretch of, like...
Wait. There was almost as many episodes of the Powerpuff Girls Z anime in 1 year as there was the entire run of regular Powerpuff Girls.
I'm reading the comments. My eyes, they're rolling back so hard. And then one of the other ones. Don't worry, it's on the CW. Which when have they ever messed something up? And it's a picture of Stargirl. The poster for Stargirl.
Yeah.
My eyes are rolling so fast that if I had a third one, I'd be a slot machine.
Okay. Last entertainment news, and it broke literally today, is uh, Black Widow and also Cruella de Vil, but I didn't care about that one. Is coming to Disney Plus as one of those all premiere access suckers, which means you pay $30 on July 9th, and it's also coming to theaters. So if your theater is open in your locality, it's in the theater. It's also going to be on Disney Plus for the $30, and you have to have an active subscription. What is this? A year and a half after the film was supposed to come out?
Something like that. So essentially, this is a $40 movie. If you don't have Disney Plus, this is a $40 movie.
Which, to be fair, if two people went to a theater, like that's $40. But I mean, you probably for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean,
By you, it's
it would be 30. I
because
mean,
like by the time, like I'm assuming you're gonna get a drink or a popcorn or something in that number.
I mean, I wouldn't count that. Like we're talking, we're talking just if you want to see the movie.
No, because we're talking what the experience would cost.
Yeah, but if you want to talk about experience, like Disney Plus is not experience.
Also, that tells me Disney was not expecting good projections for this film. That's what that tells me. But yeah, okay.
I have a feeling they were expecting a lot, then COVID hit, and then they're like,
No, it was supposed to be. It was projected to actually do well, but it was not projected to. Yeah.
and now they're like, guess we have to make some of our money back.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing the trailers for this. It did not look good.
Looks fine. I think it's gonna be one of those Marvel movies that you probably should see if you care, but it's not gonna be one people talk about.
I really hope, judging by the trailers, I will probably be proven wrong. But I hope they didn't see the success that Thor Ragnarok had with kind of the fun, campy style.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, we need to do a family drama, like sitcom style thing, which is very much how the trailers felt.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not optimistic about this movie.
And we will find out. Top video game news. This happened early in the month, but Fall Guys and Mediatonic is now a property of the Chinese and the Mustard Bros?
Is anybody surprised?
No. I don't know if I'm super surprised. I'll be curious because Epic is very selective in what they're buying. So if they bought obviously Rocket League, now this, like it feels like a certain type of game they're buying.
They're buying something that they know they have a cash cow in.
Yeah,
they're
but
not being selective.
They're doing it after the cash cow was already like the insane profits already hit.
No, because think about it, right? Like Fall Guys has yet to be fully exploited.
And like Fall Guys,
Rocket League, yes, had already kind of reached its zenith and had started to decline. So it was kind of interesting, but.
And also, let's be honest, what's also true about Fall Guys is, as much as people like, it's gonna die, it's not gonna die. It's realistically, it's gonna, a thing people don't talk about, but it's gonna make money for a while. Like, it's not gonna.
This is gonna be that game that when you pull up Twitch, it's gonna have 180,000 viewers. And the vast majority of them are gonna be in countries that don't use the Roman alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to be, everything's going to be skins with a premium currency. That's what it's going to turn into. It's going to turn into one of those Southeast Asian games that they're uber popular, just not in the West.
Okay. Next thing, this was a weird story that I did.
Speaking of games that are popular in the Southeast Asian market, and not really popular in the States.
So Sony bought Evo?
Which, yep, I figured that would happen. I let one of the dogs into the office, and it was a ticking time bomb.
But yeah, that was just unexpected. Like I didn't realize they were for sale. Oh, and apparently lost AJ. So yeah. One, two, one.
I very much feel like though this Evo purchase. I wonder, like, are they trying to legitimize what were the PlayStation things called? The Experience?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Like, is this a move to legitimize those as large scale
I was
events?
thinking that, and also I don't know if you remember, Evo got in some trouble because their owners had some sexual harassment things or whatever. So I wouldn't be shocked if this was an organization in fight and struggle, and Sony was like, it's a good way to expand our business.
Yeah, I just hope that this doesn't turn into, like... I mean... Nintendo's always had a weird thing about Evo.
Oh god, I didn't think of that one. Can you imagine that?
They've had a weird thing about fighting game tournaments in general. Because... So, get this, right? You develop a game that... It's not a true fighting game, but it's a party brawler. A lot of people love to play it. And when people want to play it competitively, you're like, nah, son. Like, this is so... Like, Nintendo's relationship with fighting game terms in general is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll be like, oh, you can't run melee.
Yeah.
Like, if you want... What's the most recent one? Ultimate?
Mm-hmm. Smash Bros. Ultimate.
If you want Smash Brothers Ultimate to be played at this tournament with any sort of Nintendo backing, you can't have melee being played. And, like, they're one of those companies that are like, you know... Nintendo, very much the opposite of the way IOI was handling things.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo does not care about their fan base, no matter what they say. Like,
no.
They know what these suckers want. They'll make it for them. And then the second a new thing comes out, they drop support. We are on to the next one. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's one of the things, right? Like, I've never been a huge fan of Nintendo. Like, obviously their status as a savior of the video game market can't be understated. Because they very much saved video games in '85. But I feel like they've kind of ridden that as like their thing, right? Like, they're Nintendo, so the games have to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was listening to, I can't remember if it was a Hotspot or if it was a Bombcast, and Jeff Gerstmann was talking about his review of, I think it was Skyward Sword. And he gave it a lower score than most everybody else. And, you know, they got the immediate backlash of, how can you rate it this low? You know, you're doing this for the clicks and all that. And then he's like, you know, once people started playing the game, he goes, I had messages that were like, you may have rated this too high. And, you know, I feel like the Fallout franchise in Nintendo, well, not just the Fallout franchise, Bethesda in general, BGS and Nintendo feel like kind of the same thing. Like they are a company that they could put anything out and they know they will sell 20 million units
Mm-hmm.
because it's got their name attached to it. And you know, it's one of the reasons why I like companies like IOI. Like it's a small company, you know, it's they can't just make something that's shitty and get by on name recognition alone. Because they know they've got such a you know, they've got a dedicated fan base in kind of the opposite direction. So
Yeah. Okay. This is double acquisition news we have next, which is first off, as we talked about last time, while a lot times two, the deal has officially gone through. Bethesda is officially Team Microsoft. And then the other acquisition news is, it's still, as we're talking, so this could change when an episode comes out, it's still currently rumors, that Microsoft might be buying Discord for $10 billion.
well, Discord wants to go public. So this is like a last ditch effort for one of the big guys to get in cheap.
I am genuinely curious though, and this is what I don't understand things about this is, what does Discord have that Microsoft wants that makes it a good investment?
I don't know.
Like Bethesda, I can at least explain from the game. We can explain the Game Pass model. Right? We can explain that.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't understand. You're Microsoft. I don't understand what Discord has that you want. Especially because I wouldn't be shocked if half of Discord users are already on Xbox Live. Like the overlap's so big of gamers already that I don't fully understand.
Like this is an acquisition that I don't know if you want to make. Because think about like there's Discords out there for some shady stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For some highly illegal stuff. And you know, they get shut down in about a couple days or whatever. But some of them stay out for a little longer, and then there's news stories. Right? Microsoft doesn't want to be the company that has to deal with, you know, the news stories of, oh, there's another child porn Discord. Or, you know, there's another, take your pick for incredibly illegal activities. You know, oh, there's another one of those on Discord.
Back to the children with you, AJ. I've noticed a trend in the last.
The only reason that I go back to that is because it's always in, like, not always, but those are the stories you hear about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure there's Discords out there for hard drugs. I'm sure there's Discords out there for prostitution, for.
But the children. Hey, AJ, I can never say you don't think of the children.
I mean, sure.
Perfect. Last couple stories we have here. VR. First ones, we just have new Vive trackers.
Finally.
I think I wouldn't care, but they have facial trackers, I think are cool. I think it's still
It's a
interesting.
long time in the making.
Yeah. And then last one is, as we talked, I think last time, PSVR 2 is happening. And they show the new controllers, which, AJ, when you look at this image, does it look like other controllers that you've seen before?
I mean, it looks like a hybrid of the Oculus and the Index controllers.
100%. I am kind of glad that this is our new controller look, just generally speaking, for VR, because it feels like when you're, like, we both mess with one of the other controllers. I think this generally feels good for a controller in VR.
Yeah.
And I bet you it's bigger, like the way we see here, is some of the tracking. Also, that was the other thing. The VR headset said the controllers are tracked via the headset, which means they're doing inside-out tracking.
Well, and so the Vive did that too. It
Right.
it used obviously the base stations,
Hmm.
but the headset could track where the controllers were as well.
Which is good because the issue you have, it's PSVR, which is the one you have at Oculus, obviously, is that cone of movement tracking is less. So if I ever turned around, with this one, at
Yeah,
least could solve that.
that was always the problem I heard with PSVR was that basically if
You
you
can't go
turned
back.
your
You can't
head
go.
around, it was gone
You were screwed. With this, could at least solve that.
or help it.
Yeah, I solves a relative term. I can help it. But yeah. Otherwise, that is really all of the big news for this month. It was
Well,
a
so I want
another
to touch on this
yeah,
PSVR thing real quick. This went from 0 to 100 real quick.
yeah. And
It
they said
went
it's not
from
this year.
it went from mid last year. Oh, we don't have any plans for VR yet. To gotcha suckers. Here's the controllers. Well, no, what was it? Like last episode, it was oh
It exists.
yeah, it exists and we're working on it. Now this episode is hey, we've got controllers and it's coming out this year. And you're like, oh, what now? So
Yeah. Okay. Then. But yeah. I'm telling you anything else. As we said, so the games coming out in April and May. Returnal is April 30th. Mass Effect Trilogy May 14th, and Deathloop is May 21st. I didn't write it here, by the way, but both Hogwarts and Gotham Knights got delayed to 2022. And let's be honest here, um, the general consensus that I've been reading online and some people I know is that uh, most AAA games that are supposed to come out this year are going to be delayed. Is the general assumption. And that should be the assumption you should be going on all year, is unless a game is locked down release date in spring, there's a good shot it's not coming out this year because this is when all the COVID delays are actually hit from last year when we had those couple months we were transitioning out of offices and stuff. And they were very rough months for most studios, even if they say it out loud or not.
yeah,
So don't be surprised if when you get to the fall, it's just Call of Duty, it's just Battlefield, it's just your sports games, and nothing else comes out of note, or they're supposed to come out in the summer and they come out in the fall, and then the fall stuff gets pushed because, yeah, even when studios got up and running, we'll say in June or July of last year, no studio has been operating at 100% capacity at all.
yeah.
Unless
You
your
want to know
studio is already remote, you are
yeah.
not.
You want to know the biggest delay into 2022 that kind of went under the radar?
What?
That Death on the Nile movie
Right.
that was supposed to come out in 2020. Like I think it was a Christmas 2020 movie originally,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're just like, we're not even going to deal with 21.
I'm sorry, where is our James Bond?
Well, we don't talk about that.
Remember going into 2020, AJ, we were super excited for two movies. It was Tenet and James Bond.
And Tenet's about to come out on HBO Max, the platform that Christopher Nolan described as the literal worst.
Yeah. Okay. So now, here's the question I have for you. We're about to hit April. This is coming out in April. There is a specific movie I want to know if you want to do movie club for or not. It is the new Mortal Kombat.
I thought you were going to say Kong vs. Godzilla.
When does that come out?
The end of the month. The end of the month as we're recording this.
Ah. Kong v Godzilla comes out. Can I release it for you? March 25th.
So this week.
Yeah. I was thinking Mortal Kombat because it was the middle month.
Mortal Kombat.
It's that, or we just let this all be and we give it another month or two when more stuff that we care about comes out, since we still can't actually go to theaters, which was the point of this.
Well, I guess we can leave it up to fan response.
Okay. Remind me when we post this to put something up.
If y'all want us to keep doing the Justice League style kind of mystery science theater watch along things,
As long as they're not 4-hour movies, we might be open to it.
yeah, let us know. Like, well, we'll still pick the movies, but if you like that style of kind of companion track, I guess is the best description for it. If you like that style more, let us know. If you liked
Old style.
the old style, kind of the methodical breakdown to movies and discuss.
Let us know.
Let us know. I know my personal preference, but I will not let that influence
Okay.
the vote.
Sounds good. I think that is all we have. As we said, check last couple weeks' episodes for Justice League stuff. This is your SWW show. Check out some interviews. F1 show will be back sometime in this month. Date TBD. And I think that is everything. Remember, you can find me at Mikey_Roney. Find AJ at AJ_Losi. You can find the show at the SWW Show. I think that is everything. We are not going to any conventions right now because there are no conventions right now. All of that fun, random nonsense. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Support your local short tracks.
This episode is partially brought to you by the Humble Choice program. Did you know Humble Bundle has a great monthly subscription service that lets you get a ton of video games every single month? That's right, from plans range from $5 to $20 a month, you get a hold of a bunch of free games they have available to you. And you could use our code down in the description below to go and sign up. It would help our podcast and help you see what great games are available for you this month.
This podcast was a production of the SWW Show. To learn more, go to theswwshow.com. Remember, you can follow the show on Twitter at the SWW Show. You can follow me at Mikey_Maroney. You can follow AJ at LowSeaBoy. Remember, new episodes premiere on Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time on anchor.fm/SWW and podcast services around the globe.